Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is 𝗶𝗸𝗀, and today we're going to be talking about setting up a sandbox for reverse engineering malware on your VMware. We've done a video for VirtualBox, so it's going to be like similar steps if you already watched it, and if you prefer VMware instead. Additionally, I do have another YouTube that's focused on more cybersecurity, information technology, ethical hacking, and pen testing. So be sure to follow that channel. Links will be in the description. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about setting up the VMware station. I want you to right click on your Windows right here, and I assume that you have some type of Windows installed. When we're going to go towards the network adapter, you wanted to have it on NAT because it's going to be put it on its own subnet. You don't want to have it on the same subnet like when you're sharing. If you have it on bridge mode and replicate physical network connection state, it will be as if it was on the network sharing access with other computers. You don't want that. You want it to be on NAT, which will be on its own subnet. So it's kind of like if this computer, when I do malware testing and there's a worm that installed, when it's on NAT, it's trying to search for other devices that are on the network. But however, I isolated myself because it's on a different subnet. If it was on the same subnet or on the same network, then the worm will attach itself to other computers if there is that vulnerability found. So that's why you want to have on a different subnet. You want to disable your USB functions. Make sure you don't have any USB cards, anything like that plugged in. It'll show on the bottom right. You can disconnect from host or just ultimately just go ahead and unplug it. Give yourself enough RAM, enough processor power to actually reverse engineer. And so we're just gonna go ahead and click OK out of that. Now that we're on our main desktop here, I want to talk about Sandbox first, then we're going to be talking about FakeNet. Sandbox will allow you to open up a program and it'll be isolated inside that program. Let's go ahead and open that up here. Need a VPN? Choose private internet access. It will help you save your marriage from your no-no sites. Choose the incognito mode when you're on the browser. The government cannot spy on you, nor can your local ISP, your internet service provider. PIA doesn't keep any logs. There was a guy who was in trouble and got scot-free from the U.S. court, the Supreme Court, after they subpoenaed a court order logs from PIA, and PIA was like, LOL, what logs? VPN features come with secure VPN account, encrypt your Wi-Fi, especially if you're on a public network, when people are doing man-in-the-middle attacks and trying to sniff out the logs and what sites that you're going to, peer-to-peer access, so on and so forth, that you can read right here. They have many great servers, and the prices are at $10 a month, or you can choose $84 for 2 years, and it comes with a 3-month subscription as well, and you can choose a yearly subscription for $82. Your choice of what you want to do. You want to be encrypted, or do you want to keep your marriage safe? Choose private internet access today. Links are in the description and also in the video. It will help support the channel, and yeah, happy days. Safe traveling, safe interneting, whatever. Bye. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to act like this picture has a virus installed on it. So if we go ahead and open up in here, you can run it as administrator. It's completely fine. It'll still be isolated. It's saying it's not a 132 application. Let's try that again without running as admin. Okay, let's just say that for argument's sake, this popped up. The picture actually popped up. And now it's like, oh, cute. It's a puppy. And within here, it shows you all the processes that it's currently running. If you run it without the sandboxy, it will try to inject itself into other processes. So, for example, RATs, remote administration tools out there, will either try to attach itself to your default web browser, to explorer.exe, so on and so forth. And if we right click on our task manager and click on more details, go towards details right here, we can see all of our processes. So it would be kind of hard to find out what is what, especially when it's in, especially if it's not being controlled by Sandboxy here. There is methods to be anti-Sandboxy. It won't just run in Sandboxy. It will actually make you want to run it without Sandboxy or without VMware as well. So there are methods out there, but just letting you know. Again, without the Sandboxy, it would be hard to dig out what is what. So what if it was 𝗶𝗶 host.exe? It'd be hard to filter out because there's so many exes. But with this, it will filter out everything and it'll tell you, oh, okay, the 𝗶𝗶 host.exe, this is where it's at. This is the virus file. Let's go ahead and right click on it and open it, and it'll take you to another folder. This is not the folder. I just need to go towards the C drive and towards the Sandbox. It'll give you a don't use because this is where it'll put the isolated file in. So if you go into this directory here and you start opening files willy-nilly without any precaution, you could potentially infect yourself. So just letting you know, this is where the files are actually stored. And this is where you can like look and poke things around. So that's the great thing about Sandboxy. Let's go ahead and click out of that. One thing that I want to focus on as well is, let's just say you don't have Sandboxy in, right? Close out of that. Goodbye, puppy. Now let's go towards our command prompt and let's go ahead and run it as admin. We're going to type in a command. And we want to see what's being reached out. So if you go to Netstat or you type in Netstat-B, now it's showing up all the exes, processes that are running in the background and what they're connected to. So established mean it's an established connection. Time wait, it's just waiting for a connection. So this is where you want to find out. It's like, okay, well, what's this IP? Is this a legitimate IP? Is it not? This is where you're gonna have to do a little bit of networking for yourself. It's like, okay, let's go to Google and type in the IP address onto Google and see where it leads out towards to. Who is? So it's Microsoft Azure, which is a legitimate Microsoft IP. And you know, you just got to do a little bit of reconnaissance for that. If this doesn't help you out, you could always download Glasswire, which is completely free. You can pay for the Pro, which has more features. But Glasswire is your own personal firewall and network monitor. It's really great to use. We'll just go ahead and install that as well while we're at it. Let's talk about getting rid of a virus, and we're going to go to FakeNet here. We're going to talk about that here in a second. So after you find your virus, right? Let's just say it is searchui.exe, and this is the IP address. Sometimes it could be a domain. We could block it out with a domain. So let's see, Notepad, and we're going to go ahead and run as administrator. And now I want to go towards our C drive. Then in system 32s, it'll be under driver folder. etc, drop down all files, host, and now we can we can null out the connection, so there'll be no connection going out. And let's just say you figured out what the domain name is or the host name, and it's a virus dot domain dot I don't know net, and all you gotta do is hit Control S for save, and now the virus is not connecting to the server. So now the person who's in control of that virus cannot take control over you because you nulled out that IP. There's a lot of interesting things that you can do with the host file here, but we'll get to that in a different video. I'll talk about a host file, what you could do with it in a different video. It's dedicated for its own video. Anyways, Another thing is how to remove it from startup. What you could do is go back to Task Manager. This is for Windows 10. As for Windows 7, I'll show you how to get to it. So status right here, you can disable the startups. Plus, this will help make your PC faster if you have a whole bunch of startups. And as for all you Windows 7 users, even for Windows 10, still follow this process. You're gonna type in msconfig. Then right here, I'll take you to your startup, and this is for Windows 7 and below. But once you get to msconfig in general, you can go towards your services. You can click on hide all Microsoft services, and you can click disable, which will stop the running services in the background as well. So then you hit apply, then you're going to go ahead and reboot. Sometimes if it's well coded, if it's well coded, it can disguise itself as a manufacturer of a Microsoft corporation. So this is where you have to nitpick if this service right here is legitimate or not, so on and so forth. Let's go ahead and close out of that. And one last thing is with regedit, this is how you can disable startups ultimately. Also, actually, there's one more way. Shell startup. No, I gotta find the correct path for that. So back on regeditor, you go down towards your current user, then go down to your system. Oh, that's not it. You'll go down to your software, then to Microsoft, scroll down. Then it'll go down to Windows, expand out that, then click current version. We'll expand that. Current version, then you scroll down, and then you'll look for run, which Sandboxy will start up on, whenever you start up your computer. You can go ahead and delete the keys, any keys that are in here. OneDrive, I don't care for OneDrive, you can get out of here. And you can go ahead and delete these keys as well for run once. Then copy this pathway. And we're going to go ahead and collapse this. And we're going to go down towards our users, our local machine. Then we're going to go ahead and paste this in. And now here's run once and run again. And just delete it from the registries, if it'll allow me to. Oh. And one last thing, let's go ahead and run that as well. When I was opening up the run, I was trying to open up our startup folder, which we want to delete the shortcuts in that startup folder. So it'll be shell startup. Was it all one word? See, this is why I gotta Google things. Wow, yeah, it was all one word. I'm stupid. So, Windows key and R at the same time, then shell startup. They'll take you to the folder with any shortcuts that are in there. Just go ahead and delete that out. Then go ahead and reset your computer. And there should be nothing on startup, nothing connecting out, so on and so forth. So when you have a virus installed, it's waiting for the computer to start up, and you get the idea. So let's go ahead and install this. Glasswire will notify you with any new connection that comes into place. It's like, hey, this new this program is attempting to this IP address. Now, I'm not saying that every IP address out there is bad, because there is programs that legitimately need to connect to their servers. So don't be too paranoid. I mean, you can be paranoid, and you can just get tinfoil and wrap that around your Ethernet cord and Wi-Fi antennas and around your head so the government can't hear you. If you want to be that paranoid, then go for it. So right here, it alerts us, okay, so Glasswire activated because we just installed a new program. And right here, we have Internet Explorer open up, and it's telling us, okay, what is it connecting towards to? It gives you a firewall that you can also block out things, the usage of which program is collecting or absorbing the data, sending out data. And with firewall, you can also just right click on the application, or excuse me, you click on the fire here and it will cease any communication. So if I were to refresh it, it should have stopped it. I'm not going to question it, but it should stop it. I'll let you guys tinker around with this. It's a really useful tool to have. You can also upgrade it. It comes with other features as well. Lockdown mode. Basically, there'll be no traffic coming in and out, so on and so forth. This video not sponsored. Now let's go ahead and talk about FakeNet. Go ahead and download it. Links will be in the description. I already put it into a folder here. I'll go ahead and actually no, I want to actually need to close out all of that. Let's close out of this. Close out of host file. And right here, FakeNet.exe. Go ahead and run it as admin. And just go ahead and allow connection. So now, essentially what this will do, it will simulate any incoming and outgoing connection that will pop up right here. So if someone had a virus installed on your computer, right, is like, oh, this person's connecting to this domain name, or it's trying to sniff around the network. So if we go ahead and open up our browser here, and it'll say details is not secure, that's completely fine because we're doing a FakeNet, restricting access. Go to your startup page. If Microsoft Edge does not want to show anything, what we need to do is install Firefox. See, it's trying to read connections, and what it does, it actually saves it into a packet, into a PCAP file, and this is what it will read through. You can start reading packets, which will be in its own separate video of how to read packets. So, what we need to do is close out of here real quick. It'll take a moment. And we can refresh it. It should work just fine. No? Okay. It stopped. Starting it back up. We might have to reset the computer in general. Or is Glasswire finally... No. Okay. Once you try a different web browser with Firefox or Google Chrome, it'll say, hey, like if we're using FakeNet, blah, 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 blah. It'll give you information of how to use it, and you can go through that as well. It'll tell you, you can change things into the config file here. So what you want to do is open up Notepad. Hopefully you got Notepad++, and we'll go ahead and drag and drop. And you can save the outputs. Would you like to moderate HTTP posts, any output dumps? How many max listeners do you want it to listen towards to? Would you like to redirect all traffic? And we'll get into that in a separate video as well. So it's pretty neat stuff. Once you have this up and running, again, you'll save it into a PCAP file, and this is where you'll read where that virus is trying to, what it's trying to do, where it's trying to reach out towards to, and you can get more information out of a PCAP file. So I hope that this video was informative. Definitely check out the next videos for the host file that I'll be doing, and I'll be telling you how to read packets. That'll be it for this video. If y'all would like to Like, share, subscribe, hit the post notifications. I do live stream. Come over to mixer.com/𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗀. Don't ask me anything malicious because I won't answer it, or don't even ask anything malicious on the Discord. If you want to protect yourself, I'm more than happy to answer those types of questions. So I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next video. You all take care. Peace. Do you want cheap games that are AAA titles? Maybe right here it doesn't show is your favorite game, but they do have games like Call of Duty, Black Ops 4 on sale, or maybe the new Cyberpunk 2077 that's out for sale. That is $20 off, and you can pre-order that today. Maybe you don't want Cyberpunk. Well, shame on you. Maybe you're a Sims character and you're just a basic 𝗶, and you can get yourself the collection really cheap. You can get the game for $12, or you can get any other thing, DLC. There's so much things that this site has to offer. Check in the affiliate description link down below, and also please go to it. It supports the channel. Another good outlet for games and software, or even ebooks, is Humble Bundle, a great platform that once you make a payment, they'll take in a percentage and they will give it towards donation to a charity, which is really awesome. This themes is Hellblade and Moonlighter. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want to browse through the store. With becoming a monthly subscription member, you get a percentage off on any of the new release games or any other game that you can find on here. It's pretty great stuff. Use the affiliate link down in the description below, or that's being displayed on screen. It supports the channel. I'm desperate. Thank you for sticking around. Please feel free to watch my other videos. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow my social media. If you're feeling generous, check out my Patreon or send in a donation of any amount with PayPal. It really helps out with post-production, equipment, food in my belly, and also continue making free content for you guys. Links in the description. Y'all take care, and thank you once again.